Like Ali said, I speak Polish, so the questions can be in Polish, feel free. But for the sake of time, I will be speaking English for the presentation. So let's get right to it. Again, I'm not going to get too much into who I am. Ali did a perfect, nice job at saying who I am. I am a social butterfly. In English, you say social butterfly because I have no issue with talking. I have no issue with being on a stage. I have no issue on talking to people, and therefore ended up working with social media, reaching out to people. And so this is what we're going to be talking today. In today's agenda, we're going to be focusing on why social media is so important for small business owners today. Then we're going to be talking about why Adobe Express is winning in the time of DIY, do-it-yourself kind of approach to life, and then my workflow put to test. So because I am talking to a crowd that is not only interested in marketing and business, but mostly about IT, I am also going to get into the little weeds of how I tested the way Adobe Express helped me specifically win at social media in my business as an illustrator. So we're going to get into some testing at the end. Social media for the win. So if you own a phone, if you are a person that uses the internet, you have social media. You probably have a Facebook, you probably have an Instagram, you probably, I don't know, interact in some way with even if you don't have that for yourself, you research businesses on social media for social proof. And so one thing that that social media has done for small business owners right now is that it has leveled the field for everyone out there who owns a business. So us small business owners can play with the big kids. We can compete with bigger businesses, established businesses, because social media is open to anyone and everyone. One thing that we actually have going, small business owners, that big businesses don't have going for them is the personal aspect of it. If you are a solopreneur, meaning a person that runs their own business by themselves, and you are the only person working for your business, you are actually more likely to connect with someone on social media than a business that has 5 people working in 5 different places for running their social media management, because you're connecting from person to person. And actually businesses, big businesses, are actually partnering up with influencers because they want to mimic just that. They want to be people. They want to pretend to be people. Right now, the biggest 2 monsters of social media are Facebook and Instagram. And there's about 6 billion people a month in these platforms. And then you have Twitter and LinkedIn following it right behind with around 500 million people a month. So as a small business owner, that's where you want to be. Also, if you're a small business owner, you are likely not to have the budget to be advertising all the time. So you want to be creating organic content, things that you can post for free and still reach the same audience that bigger businesses are reaching with their paid advertising. So in a big business, you usually have 5 main roles for social media. You have a social media strategist, you have a content creator, you have a designer, you have a content community manager, and you have a data analyst. That's all in the size of social media. In a small business, you have one person, yourself. Adobe Express manages to take 3 roles off of your hands. It actually helps you with content creation, it helps you with design, and it helps you with content community management, which is actually making sure that everything is posted at the right time, that things happen when they should, managing the whole thing, right? So no wonder I love it, right? Adobe Express has managed to let anyone make anything awesome and amazing, just as amazing as someone who is professional at it. Because, unlike other known platforms, Adobe Express is a platform. Have you heard about Canva? Most people know Canva, right? So, unlike Canva, Adobe Express only allows professional designers designs and templates in its platform. So, you are only getting templates from professional designers, approved by one of the most famous and most established design monsters companies in the world, which is Adobe. Adobe has other very known programs, as you may know, such as Illustrator, such as Photoshop. Pretty much anything video or imagery, you got Adobe for it. So Adobe Express, moving on to that, does anyone not know what Adobe Express is? Awesome. Okay. I thought you might not know. Okay, Adobe Express, it's a platform, just like Canva, that helps you create social media design. Not only social media design, but also design for print, design for flyers, design for financial reports, all sorts of designs. And unlike Canva, it works in a certain way. It connects with those bigger programs out there, such as Photoshop and Illustrator, in a way that you do not have to download anything from your cloud. You can do everything through Creative Cloud. So let's say if you're working, like is my case, you're working with a major company, right, that gives you some designs of a box, right? And they're like, oh, we want you to make an illustration on top of this box. I no longer have to tell them, can you send me the files, please? I have to download them and deal with them. No, I'm like, sure, share them with my Creative Cloud account, and then I just put it into Adobe Express because I am no designer, I am an illustrator, and then I can work with it. So it actually levels up my work. It makes my business, that is just me, look like a pro business, even in the eyes of those people who are established businesses that have huge teams, and it lets me kind of look the part, I would say. Okay, so as I said, Adobe Express takes over 3 main roles. It takes over the role of a designer with the templates that I've talked about. Those templates are created by designers only, so people who make pretty designs can't submit a design and be like, oh, can I have this design on Adobe Express platform? No. It's actually just pre-approved designs from Adobe in the platform. And then content creation. So it has a feature called multi-pages, which we're going to be looking at later, which allows you to create within the same document. It allows you to create several different sizes for several different channels of social media. So I can have the same image in the same document on Adobe Express, but have it sized for Instagram, sized for LinkedIn, sized for Twitter, sized for Facebook, in the same document, without having to create a separate document for each case. And then finally, it helps you with content and community management because of its content scheduler. So not only can I create the things there, but I can actually create them. I can do cross-posting, which is create them for several platforms, and then I can actually schedule it, and it posts for me. Okay, so let's talk about the first part, being a designer. No design experience? No problem. Design is such a complex thing. People might think that designers are just there to make things pretty. They're not. They're there to make things clear and understandable. There's a whole thread on Reddit on bad designs, things that can have like one text on the top and then one text at the bottom, and then people actually read it in a specific way that it makes no sense. So designers are there to make things pretty, but also make things usable. So as an illustrator, I can make things pretty. Sure, that's easy. But I do not know necessarily how to make them look good and at the same time be useful. So I have designs to go to. I can edit those designs. I can make them look like they're for my brand. And they're ready-made for me. So I don't have to worry about looking like a fool because my business didn't have the budget to hire an actual designer. All content creation in one file. As I talked about before, there's a feature called multi-pages. Multi-pages allows me to have the same exact content for each different platform at the right sizing. Have you guys ever tried to post an Instagram post and the photo is chopped or too thin or too weird and you're like, I have to fix this? Well, that doesn't happen here. I actually just go, I want an Instagram size. I don't even have to know what the Instagram size is, and I just make it fit that. And then I schedule it with the content scheduler. You say when, and Adobe Express delivers. I am a mom of 2 kids under 4 years old. I have a business. I work as a social media director for another business. I do 110 things and do that while walking on my hands. But I am able to keep up with my social media because of the content scheduler. I pre-schedule all my posts once a month. I work 1 day of the month in my social media, and then I never touch it again. It's there. It's published. It's working. And then I go, and everything is nice and peachy. So this is my most favorite feature of it. The test. So now we go to testing. Content scheduler and the result, growth. As I said, content scheduling is my favorite sport when it comes to social media. I love it. And in Adobe Express, you know, there's a bunch of content schedulers everywhere. Facebook has one, HubSpot has one. There's tons of apps that help you schedule social media. But this one is special for me because I can create these things there in the same program. I can create for all of the platforms in the same program, and then I can actually schedule it in the same program. So for me, this one is very useful, and I'm going to tell you why. The problem. So basically, as I said, I have very little time. You would be surprised how little time I have in reality. And so I wanted to test what would happen if I just disappear for a whole month from social media. This is my paycheck. This is my life. Like, this is my business. I would disappear for about 20 days. The first 4 days of the month, I'll be present, just so that I can test if there was a change. Then the next 20 days, I will be like gone, just looking at it from afar. And then the last days, I would go back to it. And I would actually check my data. And so that's what I did. This is a screenshot of my poster. I scheduled from the 4th of September to the 21st of September, so just after the month starts and just before the month ended. And I bit my nails for those 20 days because I was dying. I can't live without social media. And this is what happened. These are my results for that time frame. I actually had people still interacting with my account while I was doing absolutely nothing. So I had an increase in my Instagram reach, I had an increase in my profile visits, and I had an increase of followers in that month because everything was consistent. If I had to do social media, I would be thinking everything, overthinking everything. Is this the right caption? Is this the right photo? Does my hair look okay in this thing? Do I look weird? Am I speaking weird? If I don't have to post this by hand, there will be much less thinking about it. If it's posted, it's posted. That's it. And so it turned out that I actually had real results. So these are the takeaways. Create, set up, and schedule in Adobe Express. Adobe Express has a free version, and the only thing in the free version that is not there is the content scheduler. Everything else is on the free version. But it also has 30 days free on the paid versions. And it is cheaper than Canva. So if you own a small business, and if you want to try out social media, I suggest you try out Adobe Express. These are the features to test out. You can actually take out your phone. You can take a photo of this QR code, and it will lead you to the Polish version of the site where you can sign in. And that's it.